Act 6. The assassination of Gabriel Báthory, under a willow tree in the Peter stream, close to Varad, Transylvania, Wednesday 27th of October 1613. 'Tis told fairies dismiss men's orders and laws, and that fairy tale prince had those leprechaun flaws. He acted on impulse, crushed who he would choose, then turn very vicious, as Fae if they lose. He'd fuck any friend's wife, absent of attraction, and not on his life would suffer inaction. He piqued Brasso's burghers who thought him perverse, and bourgeoisie Germans defamed him in verse. Was drunkard and feckless and ruffled the king, by his plan invade Poland on a prayer and a wing, who withdrew his support to squash Saxon uprising, and so the sublime port tired of his terrorising. They called him Deli Chiral on account of his actions, like cruelty in quelling his quarrelling factions. A king mired in madness that took any temptation, and unleashed hired Hadju to ravish his nation. And not just his own lands, but Constantine's too, and Radu Serban's outlaw bands swept into. Being vassals of Ahmed, those princes objected as jizya, the homage they'd paid to be protected. The bandits went crazy with innocents killed, till their chief Andras Nagy himself had his fill. The Hajduk went wild, yet Gabriel still with a front, for he filed the Pasha the bill. After Nagy withdrew back over his borders, Gabriel knew he'd ignore all his orders. A post intercepted late on in that spring saw Andras arrested and sentenced to swing. The Diet dethroned him for regional raids. The Sultan disowned him for raw escapades. Then sent Turkish troopers with Bethlen and Skender, with Crimean Tartars to force his surrender. With Cossacks they came, and Moldavian marchers, and their hearts all aflame came Wallachian archers. Such promises Gabriel pledged to the king, like pardoning Saxons for tax rioting. And he swore his support with any endorsements if Matthias purport, sending royal and reinforcements. And they came and they camped, then they asked him to visit, and Gabriel got capped as their commander complicit. For after inspecting Abathay's troops, Hadju, unsuspecting, struck Varad in groups. Avenging their captain, the Hessian looters chased him and trapped him, shooting wheel-locking shooters. Riddled with pellets, he leapt from his carriage and ran from the peasants on nothing but courage. In the peter that fields, the crystal, the rapide, knee-deep in the reeds, with his legs full of lead, the end of his breed trod the last steps he'd tread. Feet suctioned in mud, he held 20 at bay, till exhausted of blood at the end of that day. 'Neath a willow that wept into gore-tainted water, Vendetta's vows kept with Gabriel's slaughter.